Alright, so we're going to look at making some pickups today. I have two files here. I have a sprite for a coin pickup that we're going to do, and I also have a sound effect for that. So I'm going to import both of those into the content browser in Unreal. You can see they came in down bottom here in the content browser. They're imported into Unreal. Alright, we're going to extract these sprites. Remember, this is on transparency, so we can right click same way that we did the other sprites that we've imported. Right click, sprite actions, extract sprites. It's going to separate them out for us. Click the green button, extract them. And since these are all sequentially ordered already, I can right click with them all selected, create flipbook, and that's going to create a little flipbook animation for us very easily. Just going to name it Coin Flipbook. Alright, there it is. Looks like all the other flipbooks that we've made. So normally we'd place something like this into our level as a sprite, but this time we're going to have to do something a little bit different. We're going to have to create a blueprint for this coin. Very much like we have a blueprint for our character that was already created. So let's start doing that. So over in the content browser, click on the Add New button, go to Blueprint Class, and we're going to create a new Blueprint Class Actor. So click on Actor. We can call this Coin Pickup underscore BP for Blueprint. There it is. There's our blueprint. I want you to double click this, and we'll open it up. And we have to set this up here. We did all this when we made the moving platforms. It's pretty much the same thing here, but in this case the code's going to be slightly different. So click on Default Scene Root, click the Add Component button. I want you to type in flip or flipbook, and what we're looking for here is we're looking for paper flipbook. So add that. And in your details panel, over on the right side, over here, need you to pick the coin flipbook that we made. Go ahead and pick that, and you should see it start to animate in your viewport. And this can be any sprite that you want. It doesn't necessarily have to be animated even. It could just be a single frame sprite as well. If it was just a single frame sprite, you might not put paper flipbook up here because it's kind of overkill. You might just look for sprite, and everything else we do will be the same. It's just it'd be a paper sprite instead of a paper flipbook. You only really need a flipbook if it's multiple frames, if it's animated. Next thing, I want you to click paper flipbook, and we're going to add a collision to this. So type in box. Box collision makes the most sense for this. You can do different shape collisions. You should click on your box, and we're going to get the scaling tools, the R key on the keyboard, or you can use the space bar to change the little widget. I want you to scale this up to about the size of the coin. So when we hit this box, our character will pick it up. Very much like we put a collision box on our moving platforms. Same sort of thing. Okay, we can save this. And now we're going to need to go to our event graph. This little tab up top here, remember we have the viewport and then we have the event graph. The event graph is where we put the code. I'm going to delete the event begin play. I'm going to delete the event tick. We just need this one right here called event actor begin overlap. So before we do this, I want you to minimize this window or put it in the tab up top. Go back to your main viewport. And we need to go into the character for a second here. So click on your 2D character, and we want to go into the blueprint for that character. If you look up in the outliner on the top right, you can click Edit 2D Side Scroller Character like we've done in the past. This will take you to the blueprint for that character. And we're gonna create a variable for the pickup in here. So over on the left side, in the variable section, I want you to add a new variable. I'm going to call this coins. You can call it whatever's appropriate for your pickup, and create a new variable called coins. Then over on the right side, we're going to change this variable type from Boolean. We're going to change it to an integer. Remember, integers are whole numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're not decimals. My pickups are going to be whole numbers. I have 1 coin, I have 2 coins, I have 55 coins. It's an integer. Everything else should be good. We can compile and save this. So our reference variable to our coins is located in the blueprint for our character. And we're going to have to reference that within our actual coin blueprint in a second here. So let's jump back to our coin blueprint, the blueprint that we have the spinning coin in. And I want you to drag off the actor begin overlap here. And we're going to type in cast to 2D side scroller. This is just what our thing's called. Our character right now is called 2D side scroller character. So we're doing cast to 2D side scroller. I want you to pick that. And what we're doing here is we're looking for a variable that is located in this character. So we have to reference this character to get the variable out of it. Next thing I want you to do is drag out from this blue right here and type in coins, because that's what we're looking for. If you named it something else, then you would be looking for something else. I want you to get a set, and then I want you to drag out from it again, and I want you to do a get coins. Get both of them. All right. We can connect this up. So every time our character right here touches a coin, we need to increment it. We need to increase the number of coins that we are counting. So we start with 0, and every time we hit a coin again, it's going to ask, how many coins do you have? If you have 0, increment by 1. If you have 1, increment by 1 again, and you have 2. So we're going to add some math in here. So drag out from this get coins, and just type plus, and we're looking for integer plus integer. We can wire this up. So every time our character overlaps the coin, we're going to look for the variable called coins. We're going to ask how much it is. Currently starts at 0. And then we add 1 every time we hit it. And then we go out and we set that variable to the next number. So we start at 0, we add 1. Now coins is set to 1. If we hit another one, it asks again, how many coins do we have? It's 1. Add 1. Now it's 2. And we can keep repeating that, and it keeps adding numbers to the variable. So that's pretty simple. Now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to print this information to the screen so we can actually see if it's working. Okay. So drag off from the set, and I want you to type a print string. I'm zoomed in here so you can see all the stuff. Print string. What do we want to print? We want to print how many coins there are. What is the current value of the variable for coins? So just drag off this green and connect it to the pink, and it will create this node automatically right here. This is just converting from an integer value to a string value. The strings are like text. All right, last thing, let's drag off here and let's type destroy actor. Destroy actor. Sounds really violent. When we hit a coin, we want it to delete. So it destroys the actor. It's not there anymore. I'm going to zoom back out. I'm going to compile this. Uh-oh, we got an error here because I forgot to do one thing. Forgot to connect this right here to this. All right, compile this again. Let me zoom in a little bit for you just so you can see one more time close. All right, there you go. Save. And let's try this out. Moment of truth. Possibility of failure. Oh, you know what? No, nothing's going to happen. We have to actually put our coin in our level first. Duh. So grab your coin blueprint and drag it into your level. You might have to resize it. You probably also have to reposition it on the y-axis. I'm just going to make the y value 0 to put it back on the same axis. I'm going to lower down the size to maybe like a 0.4 or 0.5. You know, whatever seems right for you. I'll make a copy of this. Remember, you can hold down Alt and drag off, and you'll get another one. Okay, so now I got a few in my level. Moment of truth as the fire truck goes by. All right, it's gone. All right, preview. Let's see what we got here. Boom, 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 boom. Check it out. In the top left, it was counting the coins. Actually, let me take off one thing real quick. That you are probably not going to have this. Where's this at? Let me try this again. All right, I got rid of those red lines for you. All right, so if I play this again, I run over the coins. Check it out in the top left. We have that print screen. Print string is printing the value of the coins that I have to the screen. It's not super pretty. It's just more of a debug thing right now. I will show you how to make that larger and do UI elements at the end of this. All right, why don't we make this a little bit cooler? Add something to it. Now, all these coins are basically copies of each other, right? So everything that I change in the code is going to trickle down to every single coin that I place in the level. If you have different pickups, you would have them as separate blueprints. But in this case, we're just doing one. So I'm going to go back to my coin blueprint here. And in between the print string and the destroy actor here, I'm going to add a play sound 2D. Play sound 2D. Makes sense. We pick up a coin. We want to have a little bing sort of thing. So play sound 2D. Click the drop down menu, and if you imported that sound that I gave you, you search for whatever you called it. I called mine coin sound. Select it. Sounds like that. Ba-bing, ba-bing. All right. Compile and save. Back out of this. You don't have to go back to the main map if you're using the tabs. The play buttons are always up top here. So I just click the play button again. Let's see if we got sound. Moment of truth. Hooray. Cool. Doing it. Nice. So we got some sound now. This just adds a little bit more, flavor to things. Makes it feel more interactive. You could have all sorts of things that happen. You could, have not only trigger a sound, but you could also trigger some sort of particle effect or another sprite that pops up, or maybe when you hit it, you have a sprite that's a replacement for the coin that's a different color. So you get that sort of interaction as well. And you can have, the sky's the limit. Those are just some basic options. You could trigger the light of something, whatever, sky's the limit. Whatever you could dream of, we could probably do with increasing levels of difficulty. All right, so right now we have the actor destroying, but sometimes these things respawn, right, after a certain amount of time. So why don't we have our coins respawn? So we're not going to destroy them anymore. We're going to just, what we're actually going to have happen technically is we're just going to hide the coins instead of destroying them. But if we just hide them, that's just visibly hiding them. It's not actually hiding their collision. So we could, the accident that can still happen is we can accidentally run into invisible coins because we're just hiding the visual element. So what we need to do is we need to hide the coin, the graphic of the coin, and then we also need to turn off the collision for it until a delay happens, a certain amount of time goes by, and then we turn all those things back on. So it's quite simple logically when you think about it. We can grab onto this destroy actor and delete it. I was just using that in the first step, but you don't ever have to destroy actor if you don't want to. So let's drag off of this play 2D sound, and I want you to set actor hidden in game. Okay. So when we hit the actor, we want it to set hidden. There's a little toggle box here. Do you want to set it hidden, yes or no? Not only do we want to set it hidden, but we also want to set the collision. So set collision enabled, paper flipbook. Oops, wrong one. Sorry about that. Set actor enable collision. Set actor enable collision. Sometimes these things are named very similarly. All right. So that's all good. We want the collision to be turned off. So checking this box turns the collision on, unchecking it turns it off. So we want to hide the actor, and we also want to turn off the collision. So that's good. Then we want these things to respawn after a little bit. So I'm going to put a delay in here. How long? It's up to you. You can have the delay be triggered by something, actually. Some other sort of condition, but we're not going to get into that right now. Then we're going to undo these things. So you can just select the two nodes here, the set hidden in game and the collision one, and drag them to the end. And after this delay happens, it's going to kick back out to these two nodes and basically make the coin reappear. So unhide and turn back on collision. This is what I got here. All right, so I'm going to zoom out, and we're going to play this again. Compile and save. Play. All right. Oh, see it? It reappeared. Cool, cool. Cool, they're respawning. That's exactly what we wanted to have happen. So now we have some respawning coins. That's exactly what we wanted to do. So I'm going to show you a way to make things a little bit prettier with putting graphics on the screen. I'm not going to go super into doing what are called widgets. Widgets in Unreal allow you to do UI elements like heads-up displays, HUDs, selection screens, start menus, all that sort of stuff is what it's actually used for. In this case, we're just going to use it to paint a little larger graphic to the screen than just using the print string debug that we were using here. All right, so I'm going to back out of this. We need to create a new thing. So in the content browser, I want you to go to user interface at the bottom, go to widget blueprint, and let's name this, what do we want to name it? I guess coin count _ blueprint. So this is a little bit different type of a blueprint than the actor blueprint. See, it looks different, different icon. You double click into this. And there's a big canvas here where we can add graphics and make main menus and all that sort of stuff. We're going to keep things simple. I want you on the left side to grab onto this palette of different things that we can do. I want you to drag text into the canvas panel. I'm going to drag two of these in, actually. Because one of them is going to say, coins, colon, and then the other one is going to be the actual count of the coins. All right, so I'm going to click the first one, go over to the right side. In the font section, let's just boost this up to, I don't know, like 100. And let's call it coins. You can call it whatever you want. It's just a UI element. And then let's grab onto the other one in the hierarchy over here. And let's also make that the same font size, 100. You could change the color, you can change the fonts here, you can change if they have shadowing on them, all sorts of style elements. In the top part here, we can change the position. So I'm going to drag this over. And in the text area right here is where you actually change what it's called. I'm just going to put a 0 for right now. So that's all good, but we actually need to do a little bit of programming here to tell this blueprint what actually it's counting, because right now it doesn't know. It's just saying the text coins, colon, and 0. It doesn't know that 0 should change. We have to tell it at that. So over here on the right in the content section where you put the text in for the 0, we're doing this for the 0, for the actual number that's going to change. Click on the bind button, the drop down here, and go to create binding. This is where we put all of our code that's going to change things. So drag off from here and get a cast 2 2D side scroller character, just like we did for the coin. We need to reference the side scroller character again because we're getting that variable for the coins that we put inside of that character. What do we need? Come out of here. We're going to do a get coins because that's what our variable is called. And we're going to drag out from coins. We're going to type in a toText. This node converts things to text. We want to do a toText integer because that's the values we're working with. We can wire this pink into there. And we need to put one more thing. We need to drag out of this object. We're going to need to do a get player, what's it called, controller? Yeah, get player controller. All right, that's what this looks like here. So this widget is looking for a value to put where that 0 placeholder we have is. What value should it put there? Whatever the variable for coins is. And that variable is constantly getting updated every single time we run into another coin. Okay, I'm going to compile this and save it. Uh-oh. What do we got? An error here. Oh. Did do the wrong one. Get player character. We don't want that. We want get player control. No, character. Oh, cool. Is it yummy? I don't know. It must have fell down.
Can I put it back up?
Sure. Go ahead.
Then where did these books come?
The books just fell down, I guess.
Daddy, where did these come from?
Huh? I don't know. They came out of your room.
Yeah.
It's a special guest appearance by my daughter Enceladus. She is
Mommy,
looking at the books right now
why?
and eating a chocolate cracker.
Why did we
All right, so this is all set up for that widget for the coin count, but we have to tell Unreal to actually put it on the screen and when. Okay, and right now, this UI element's just going to permanently be on the screen. Sometimes you don't want that. A health bar or something like that, you might always want on the screen. Main menus and stuff like that, you only want at certain times. In this case, for this very simple example, we're just always going to have this coin counter painted to the screen. So back in your main Unreal Engine viewport here, I want you to go up to the Blueprint section and go to Open Level Blueprint. And here, I'm going to show you what to do. This is where we are telling the game when the game starts, put this blueprint on the screen. So right click, we want an event begin play. So as soon as we begin playing, we're going to do this stuff. Event begin play, we want to create widget. Create widget. What widget? Click the drop down. We only have one here, coin count is what we called it. Drag out from here, add to player screen, I think. Yeah. Connect the blue one. Cool. I think that's it. Let me zoom in so you can see it. I think that's it. Compile this, save it. All right, I'm going to click play, moment of truth. Oh, so yeah, here in the top left, you see we have the graphic painted to the screen. As soon as I run to these coins, the zeros should change into a number. Boom, 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 boom. You can also see I have my debug numbers still coming up from the print string. If you wanted to, you could go and turn that off in the coin blueprint. We were just using it as a debug to test. Boom, boom, boom. Are you back? You want to say hello? Say hello.
Hello.
Hello. Making a video right now. Cool. So we have that painting to the screen. We have it counting coins. I want to do one more thing. A lot of times in a game you'll have objectives, right? In this case, our objective is going to be to get 5 coins. And when we get 5 coins, it's going to say win. So in order to do this, we need to create another widget blueprint. So add new in the content browser, user interface, widget blueprint. I'm just going to call this win underscore BP. And click into it. I'm going to add text to the canvas panel again. I'm going to grab onto that text. I'm going to scale it way up. I'm going to change my text block to just say win. I'm going to scale it a little bit more. Move it around. Good enough. So there's not really any code that gets updated in this widget blueprint because it's not counting anything. It's just literally text that's going to be painted to the screen at some point. All right, compile and save that. Now, where do we do the detection of the number of coins at? Where are we counting coins? We are counting coins in the blueprint for the coins. Remember where we started at here. So in the event graph here, we're going to pull off from where we're counting the coins. We're going to pull off from this set, siren. I'm going to pull off from this set, and I'm going to get a sequence node because I need to split this. I want one part of the sequence to keep going back into the rest of the stuff where we hide the coin, turn off the collision, and turn it back on after a certain amount of time. And I want this other part is going to ask, have we hit the objective or not? Have we hit so many number of coins? If we have that score, all right, paint win to the screen. So I drag off from here, and the node that asked that question is basically true or false. It's called a branch. We've used branches before. And the branch looks for a condition. Has this thing happened? Yes or no? True or false? Now, has what thing happened? We need to grab off from our value for coins. We're basically asking Unreal, what is the current value of coins? So drag off from here. And we're going to get a little math here. Is the value for coins greater than or equal to a number. Integer greater than or equal to a number. You don't have to do equal to, but in this case it doesn't make a difference. Connect the red to the red for the condition. Is coins greater than or equal to what? This is where we can change the value. I'm going to change this to 5 so I don't have to spend more time than I need collecting coins. So when coins is greater than or equal to 5, that will be true, and then something will happen. So we drag off from true, and we're going to create a widget blueprint, just like we did before. Create widget. Which widget this time? The win one. Then we're going to drag off from here and do the same thing that we did before. We're going to add to player screen. Yeah. So when we meet the criteria of this branch right here, which is looking for a value that's greater than or equal to 5 from coins, it's going to say that's true. It's going to create this blueprint that says win that we made, and then it's going to add it to the screen of the player. Zoom out, let you see what's going on here. All right. Compile and save. Let's play this. So I should count coins. Cool. And as soon as I hit a 5th one, hooray! Win. Nice. Now, maybe you want to restart the game at that point, right? We can just keep adding on to this. We could have a delay that happens. Maybe we want the player to be able to move around for a couple more seconds with a delay. And then off of this delay, we could have open level, which would basically just reopen the level, or a different level if you had different levels. I think this level is called 2D side scroller example. Unless you renamed yours, that's probably what yours is called too. Let's try it. Alright, so I play this, collect coins. As soon as I get a 5th one, it should let me run around for a little bit, and then it's going to restart the level. Well, it crashed. Womp womp. Probably because I don't have the right file name. 2D side scroller example map? Is that not what it's called? Oh, that's what it's example map, not example. Okay, yeah, it helps if you name it the correct thing. 2D side scroller example map is what the default is called. All right, let's try that again. Win, restart the level, restarts the level. Now, obviously, that's very simple. All this stuff is pretty basic. When you start to get into the nuance of making your individual projects, you're going to really have to dive into individual tweaks based on what you want to do and think about what it is that you want the outcome to be. This is a prototype of functionality for something that can be much more compelling, but this is just the beginning. So, hope that makes sense for you, adding the ability to have a character pick things up using the 2D side scroller example map in Unreal Engine 4. Cool, thanks.